Kyle Tucker's tearing the ball off the cover. Major concerns following Justin Steele. Upcoming schedule. Hi, my name's Andrew Nordley. I'm with the Cubby Perspective. Very happy to be here with you guys today. It's a beautiful rainy day in Chicago. The thunder's roaring. In my opinion, perfect day to film one more episode, because why not? We have a whole lot to talk about today, whole lot to discuss. So let's dive into it. All right, so right before we start, I just want to say I'm still in the process of making all the social medias. I plan on going to TikTok. I plan on going to Instagram, Facebook. If there's any other social media uh, platforms that you guys want me to start uploading to, drop it below in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it. But I think those are the first three so far. And also, as you guys know, I'm still new to this whole thing, so just bear with me on this. Be patient. The videos will get better as I film more. I want to start putting some like bubbles, like pop-up bubbles while I'm filming to give you guys stats on the screen or whatnot to make it look better, sound better or whatnot. Maybe you guys could understand what I'm saying more visually pleasing. So yeah, just be patient for that. That's going to take some time to learn, but I'm dedicated to this, so we will get that done, and we will get that done in a timely manner. But now for real, let's get going. All right, so Kyle Tucker, aka King Tuck, everyone knows him, everyone loves him. He's already making a major impact for the Cubbies so early on. It's kind of hard to imagine this team without Kyle Tucker. Like truly, that's how good of a player he is. Major upgrade over Cody Bellinger. I still like Cody Bellinger, obviously, but Kyle Tucker's the much better player. But yeah, Kyle Tucker threw 8 games this season, 9 runs, 4 homers, 11 RBIs, 1 stolen base, 6 walks, 353 batting average, and 450 on base percentage. That's absolutely incredible. Kyle Tucker's seeing the ball really well right now. He's carrying this offense, no doubt. He has 4 homers in 4 games with the Cubs following his shaky start of the season against the Dodgers in Tokyo, where he batted 1 for 8 or whatever with not much to show for. So Tucker truly turned it around in a timely manner. I mean, no one really had concerns over Tucker. Tucker being in a contract year, of course. Tucker being in a contract year, everyone already knew that, that 1 for 8 was not going to last that long, and he was going to turn that around very quickly because he is looking for that big payday. And that's one more topic that we have to talk about, and I'd like to hear you guys' opinions on that. What type of contract do you think would be fair for a guy like Kyle Tucker, who is heading into his age 29 season? Turning 29 January 17th. So the 2026 season, he will be 29 years old. He's not Juan Soto young to where he could garnish a 14, 15-year contract. So, he's probably not going to see the same dollar amount that Juan Soto saw. But with that being said, I think Kyle Tucker's AAV is going to be astronomical, and I think it's going to be a shorter term deal, maybe 9-10 years max, with that high AAV. Right now, I'm kind of thinking maybe a 10-year, $550 million deal gets that deal done. I would find it hard to believe that, someone would sign him for more than that, because at that point, that's crazy. Maybe if you defer part of the contract, which Tom Ricketts already has been outspoken about, and he does not want to do that. So yeah, I'm thinking right now, 10-year, $550 million with a $50 million AAV. You could see the Cubs push that to 11 years potentially through his age 40 season. Kyle Tucker is that type of player where I think there is still going to be some value later in his career. He's that good of a player. I don't think that fall off will be that crazy like some other players has in recent memory. He's just super young, super athletic. He's just really good, smart player. So I would be comfortable doing that. I think Tom Ricketts should definitely open up the checkbook for him. It's kind of crazy. I was talking to my brother the other day about the Cubs, and basically the conversation went: the Cubs are a top three franchise in baseball, like market wise, right? They play in a prime location. They have plethora of fans around the entire world. They own damn near all of Wrigleyville, right? They own their stadium. They make so much money. The ticket prices, the beer, everything, the TV deals, So the Cubs don't have to worry about money, but yet the Cubs' largest contract is $184 million dollars for Jason Hayward, and a close second or whatever is Dansby Swanson at 177. Which, yes, they are larger contracts for sure, but the way the game of baseball is moving, that's actually not that crazy of a contract. That's really not as crazy as it once was. So the Cubs signing Tucker would definitely, blow through that threshold of contracts that the Cubs are used to giving out. But a guy like Tucker, you can't let him walk. You cannot let him walk. Kyle Tucker's just that guy. He has that aura around him. I kind of compared Kyle Tucker the other day to like a prime Sammy Sosa. Kyle Tucker's not hitting 60 homers a year. I understand that. But when you look at a guy like Sammy Sosa, you're like, all right, back in his heyday, he was like that was the guy. That he was him, right? And I feel the same way about Kyle Tucker nowadays. Every time he's up at bat, it's absolute must watch. Um, so yeah, I really believe Kyle Tucker should garnish or land a very large contract, and I'm all for it. The Cubs have money to spend. I think it's time we start spending some money like a big market team does. The Cubs have been pretending to be a big market, but really operating on that mid market level. Well, and that's what it feels like, at least, right? So I'm very excited to see where this season takes us. If Kyle Tucker has been outspoken about hidden free agency, and in free agency, that's only going to drive up his numbers because you have numerous teams. I mean, I would imagine the entire league would be going after Tucker at this point, because why wouldn't you want a guy like that on your team? Which is all ultimately going to just drive up his price even further. So you could see it, past the 500, 550 threshold of what I predicted, but we're just gonna have to be patient and stay tuned for that. So yeah, Kyle Tucker, Tom Ricketts, do your job, re-sign this guy, because he's absolutely him, and he's King Tuck after all, and we gave up a lot for him. So it would be a shame if Kyle Tucker is not a Cub in 2026, which I fully anticipate him being. I don't think Tom Ricketts is going to let that guy go. I think he's a smart businessman, and he kind of understands the needs of the Cubs in some sense. But yeah. All right, so let's talk about Justin Steele right now. Are there major concerns following Justin Steele? He pitched 3 games so far in this early season, and every game he's pitched so far, he's been kind of shaky. He hasn't been himself. So maybe there's some underlying issues going on. Hopefully not. But I will say, even though Justin Steele got off to a bad start yesterday, giving up 4 runs, a bomb off a rooker, he did battle and fight back, and he ended up actually pitching a pretty damn good game for us. His stat line last night was 6 and 2/3 innings. He got the win, 6 Ks, a 5.4 ERA, and a 1.2 WHIP. Obviously, you want to see that ERA be lower. A 5.4 ERA, is not the greatest, but he did start off really bad, and he did work his way back into pitching a pretty damn good game. So I'm not going to really fault him on that. But that's just the type of player and person that Justin Steele is. He's a clubhouse leader. He leads by example. He doesn't hide away from hardship. Right? He goes out there. He puts his head down, and he continues to do what the Cubs want him to do, and what he expects out of him. And yeah, Justin Steele, he had a pretty good game. I wasn't too keen with Craig Counsell pulling him at 6 and 2/3 innings. I think Justin Steele had a lot more to offer last night. He was only at 78 pitches, but I think Craig Counsell was more so worried about his workload over the past 8 games. considering he's already pitched 3 times already, which is kind of, that's definitely out of the ordinary these days for a pitcher to pitch as much as Justin Steele has already. Obviously, with the Tokyo series, he's had a long stretch in between starts, but regardless, he has pitched a lot. Justin Steele's looking for that payday and that contract. He doesn't hit free agency until after the 2027 season, but that doesn't mean the Cubs can't extend him now. Justin Steele is looking for that big contract, that big payday, so he's going to want to pitch well today. The Cubs are going to need him to, or excuse me, he's going to want to pitch well this year in order to secure that bag or whatever. He is 29 years of age, so he's not getting any younger. With the way the game works nowadays, pitchers pitchers are having more and more issues with their bodies, with how hard they throw and workload and all that stuff. Justin Steele is not a fireball thrower. He only has 2 pitches, which I think could play in his benefit. He also has had Tommy John surgery already. So look out for that. Look out for Justin Steele and his contract this year. He's gonna want it, and he will get it if he pitches well. The Cubs also need Justin Steele to start turning it around and start pitching to his capabilities because of the upcoming schedule. The the upcoming schedule for the Chicago Cubs is not for the faint-hearted. We're going to go through a solid month of playing some really good teams, unfortunately. For example, we have 6 upcoming games against San Diego, who's starting off the year at 6-0. So we'll see what they do against that. The 4-2 Texas Rangers, the revamped 4-2 Texas Rangers. They're not the Texas Rangers of last year. They're healthy again. They have their players back. So look out for the Texas Rangers, to make some noise this year. They're my favorites to win the AL West, that's for sure. We have 6 games against the Dodgers. Everyone knows how good the Dodgers are. They pretty much have 6 aces in one rotation, which is disgusting. Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Clayton Kershaw, and all those guys. Kind of, even though Clayton is hurt right now, he still will come back eventually. But yeah, 6 games against the Dodgers. That's never fun. You never want to see your team play the Dodgers. The Dodgers have Shohei Ohtani. Obviously, he's one of the he is the number 1 star in baseball today. He is expected to come back and pitch soon, which is also going to be a huge boost to the Dodgers. We have 3 games against Arizona. Everyone knows the Cubs struggle against playing Arizona for whatever reason. We don't play them well. They beat up on us. So hopefully we can get some revenge against them. We have 3 games against the Phillies. The Phillies are a team with a plethora of talent in that rotation as well as on that field. They have Kyle Schwarber, who we all love in Chicago. Bryce Harper's a dog. They just have a really good team, right? And same thing. Yeah, Phillies are good, as are all those other teams are good. So, question for you guys: are the Cubs pretenders or are they contenders? Right? I think the Cubs are contenders. Truly, that's my opinion. I like that 1-2 punch of Shota as well as Justin Steele. I think that's a pretty good top of the rotation kind of arms. Then you trickle down with like Jameson Tyone, who still has some value. Matthew Boyd, you're not really sure what you're getting out of him because he has been hurt so much. But last year with the Guardians, you saw Matthew Boyd pitch extremely well for them late in the season, as well as phenomenal in the playoffs. So hopefully that's the Matthew Boyd we get this year. We signed him to a 2-year, $29 million deal. So yeah, let's look out for Matthew Boyd in this situation. Ben Brown. Ben Brown is a young kid, but he has all the talent in the world. So we'll see how Ben Brown, truly develops, and we'll see how he pitches against these really good teams. Because right now Ben Brown is our 5th starter, so he's gonna, be called upon to pitch against San Diego. He's gonna be called upon to pitch against the Dodgers, the Phillies, Arizona. So we'll see about that. But moving on from the pitching rotation, I think the offense, with Kyle Tucker has definitely improved. tenfold. I really like Ian Happ at the leadoff position or leadoff spot. He's very, very patient hitter. He's going to draw his walks. He's going to get his base knocks. He's going to drive in some runs. He's going to set up Kyle Tucker to drive him in. And after Kyle Tucker, we have Seiya Suzuki. Everyone knows Seiya Suzuki's capabilities, especially being behind Kyle Tucker. He's going to have a ton of opportunities to drive in some runs this year. I actually have that Seiya Suzuki and Kyle Tucker combo in fantasy to start the season, and the last few games it's looking like that's a great decision. But the Cubs also have a lot of question marks in their lineup outside of those players. Will Dansby Swanson continue to hit at the rate he's doing? We saw Dansby Swanson really struggle the past few years with the Cubs offensively. The Cubs are going to need Dansby Swanson to turn it around. Nico Horner, same thing. Nico Horner is a solid hitter, but I feel like he has the potential to do more. So the Cubs really need Nico Horner to continue hitting well. He has limited his strikeouts this year. I'm not even sure if he struck out once this year, which is pretty crazy in my opinion. So we got Swanson, we got Nico Horner. Obviously, PCA has been looking better the last few games. So we'll see if PCA could continue hitting the ball right, taking his walks, doing what he does on the base paths, wreaking havoc. So look out for PCA. Matt Shaw. I'm really high on Matt Shaw. I really love Matt Shaw. Ask anyone who I know. I've talked this kid up a crazy amount. But to start the season so far with the Cubs, he hasn't looked good. He has not looked good. He's striking out really, he's striking out truly a lot. With that being said, he does have 7 runs already scored for the Cubs, so he is, getting on and scoring some runs. But his strikeouts are kind of scary right now. Matt Shaw has that big leg kick. I wonder if that's kind of the issue. If he's not, able to time up the pitchers at the moment who are throwing, a lot harder. He might be able to time up a pitcher throwing 90-mile-per-hour fastballs, but a guy like Luis Severino throwing 97, 98 miles per hour, I think that could lead to an issue with that leg kick. I don't think he's planning it in time and getting those hips through. So we'll see about Matt Shaw. I'm still really high on the kid. I think he's going to turn it around, but hey, this upcoming schedule, it's going to test his physical and mental fortitude. He's going to be pitching, or he's going to be getting some at-bats against some, really good pitchers and some really good teams. He's going to be in more dire situations where he needs to make some noise. And I think that's overall really good for a development of a player such as Matt Shaw. So look out for Matt Shaw. I think you're going to see some noise. You're going to start seeing some noise by Matt Shaw, no doubt. So I wouldn't really worry too much about him. He's still really early on into his career. So let's just be patient with him. The offense seems to be doing fine with him struggling. And, of course, we have our catchers who have been playing really well, Carson Kelly and Miguel Amaya. So let's hope they continue to hit at the rate they're going. It's not plausible for them to keep up, what they're doing, obviously. But it is going to be important that our catchers in the ninth hole, because that's where they're batting, show up this year. Last year, the Cubs were 26 in OPS in the ninth hole where our catchers batted, and that's just not going to cut it. That's almost an easy out every time they come up. So look for Kelly and look for Amaya, to start hitting better. And Amaya has had a few seasons now to where he should start getting acclimated to the league. You saw Amaya last year; he started hitting a lot better. Maybe this is permanent. Maybe this carries into this season and forever, which would be absolutely incredible. Because after Wilson Contreras, there's kind of been a gaping hole behind the dish. So I'm really excited for this upcoming schedule. I think this is going to really test the Cubs. It's really going to put them in that mindset early on in the season to where, hey, we have to play really well. We can't be lackadaisical like how we were in previous seasons. We can't afford, to go on these horrid offensive stretches where we're only putting up two, 3 runs a game, right? So look for the Cubs to be more consistent. Obviously, we're going up against some good players, so they're already going to be more or good teams, I should say. So they're already going to be more in the zone. But I do think the Cubs come out of this stretch on top. I think you're going to see guys like Tucker just really, truly carry this team the way he has been. Suzuki as well. I think Ian Happ, when he gets going, there's no stopping him. Um, Swanson has been hitting well, so hopefully that sticks. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the upcoming schedule. What's your guys' opinions, thoughts? What are you concerned about? What are you happy about? I would like to know that down in the comments, and I will answer every single comment. Out of every team on this list, the Padres, Dodgers, Rangers, Arizona, Phillies, who are we least excited to compete against? Who are we least excited to compete against? I think this is going to be the popular answer, but I'm going to go ahead and say the Dodgers. Uh, Anytime you have Freeman, Otani, Mookie, Teoscar all in one lineup, on top of that pitching staff that we already talked about, that's just terrifying. And that disgusting bullpen and Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates, and all that. Yeah. So we'll see what the Cubs do. I'm looking forward to watching these games and reporting back to you guys on what's been going on. And thank you for watching another one of my episodes or slash podcast. Like I said, it's still a work in progress, and we're going to go ahead and get this podcast up to the best it could be very, very quickly. I'm dedicated to this. I'm dedicated to you guys. And look out for my social medias. I'm going to be dropping my social medias down in the link below eventually, or on the screen somewhere when I figure all that stuff out. But yeah, just want to thank you guys. Thank you for everything. And I'll see you soon.